I think we're in the clear.
Hope so.
We've been bringing survivors here.
Here where?
My guys have converted some subway cars into a shelter. It's safe.
I'm fine.
Personal space. Okay, I get it. Let's go. Oh, come on. Who's the dipshit that closed this? Sorry, we're gonna have to go around.
Hey, what do you know about that monster?
Carlos, what do you know about that monster? Oh, well, anyway. What's going on, everyone? It's the Nick Skull. Welcome back to Resident Evil 3 Remake. Do not go with Carlos. Come all the way up here. There are a lot of point of no returns in Resident Evil 3, and we're about to hit one. But you want all the collectibles, right? Here's your first one. The Mr. Charlie dolls are your new collectible for this particular Resident Evil remake. Your first one can be easily missed, because as soon as you go through that door and continue the conversation with Carlos, just poof, there it goes. You'll have to start the game again. I'll be sure to notate where point of no returns are, because there's a lot of them. There's not as much exploration as Resident Evil 2 Remake. There are tons of places where the game goes, okay, you're here now. I hope you didn't miss anything. So, I'll point them out. Anyway, Carlos, continue.
Nothing. I've never seen anything like it. But it's no zombie. It knows what it wants and won't stop till it gets it. Don't you like that in a man?
No thanks. He's all yours.
Listen, I promise you're in good hands. I'm with the Umbrella Biohazard Countermeasure Service. U.B.C.S. for short.
Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? You guys are the ones who caused all of this.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you talking about? Look, we're just here to help people. What's wrong with Umbrella?
What's wrong with Umbrella? Oh my god. Your company is responsible for infecting everyone.
Yeah. I don't know anything about all that. Look, you don't have to trust me, but I'm going to the shelter. You coming? Come on. It's this way.
I love Jill's response to this. She's been tracking Umbrella's activity for a while on her poster board there. And to hear that Umbrella is helping people in this crisis, she's done had enough. And I kind of like that about her. Alright, so we're about to run into, like, oops, all references here. Starting with the red and yellow M&Ms, but also Dino Bites. If you want to, like, have a fun little comparison to a Capcom game, you could say Dino Crisis. See, there you go. Dino Crisis finally made it into a game, guys. But then you have so many more that you can make comparisons to. Honestly, I don't know all of them. I know quite a few of them. But I definitely know the Capcom references. Well, some of them. Like, obviously, between Dr. Light and Dr. Wily, big old Mega Man poster here. That's fantastic. Possibly Stephen King's It, to compare to this. You've got almost an exact replica of a xenomorph, but it's got Terminator eyes, but also Terminator. You also have Hell Squiddo. And you have Tyrant of the Deep, so any deep sea, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Jaws, whichever ones you want to compare it to. These are just fantastic. I love looking at these because I'm just like, oh yeah, movie posters. They used to be like this. Some of them still are, but yeah, you used to have them in subways, and well, not too much anymore. We also have comic books. You got Street Fighter, you got your Mega Man, you got quite a few different ones. So if you know the references on these, please sound them off in the comments. I'd love to know them because I'm not an expert on movies. We made it to the safe house.
Hey, Captain. This fine young lady could use our help.
Carlos, you didn't even think to ask fine young lady her name? She is an elite operative of RPD, Special Tactics and Rescue Service. Her name is something Valentine.
It's Jill.
Nice to meet you, Jill. I am UBCS, platoon leader Mikhail Victor. My team was sent here to rescue civilians.
Right. How's that going for you?
The city is completely cut off, isolated. Most of the 100,000 civilians will wind up dead. Correction, undead. My platoon has suffered serious losses. Just keeping them alive is more than I can manage.
Well, you can thank your corporate overlords for that.
Yes. Well, we are doing all we can. If we can get this subway train moving, we can evacuate some survivors. But we need help. My men cannot do this alone.
All right. I'm in. But I am on their side, not yours.
Oh, hey. It's cool. We all want the same thing.
Thank you, Jill.
All right, Super Cop. Here you go. We can use this to stay in contact.
I know what a radio is.
First things first. We need to get you geared up. Head up to street level. You'll find supplies there.
All right.
Shit, Captain. They really took a chunk out of you.
Nothing that I will miss.
Now that's a man right there. They really took something out of you. Nothing I'll miss. That's pretty great. So that whole exchange, I actually really like the facial language as well as what is actually said. Because as soon as Mikhail introduces himself, Jill doesn't immediately snap back at him because he showed her respect, and she showed respect back. And when asked, hey, can you help us? When she says, oh, hey, I'm doing this for them, not you, he's like, okay, we all want this, and Carlos adds, we all want the same thing, which I really like that. I like just, even if it's temporary, just camaraderie, just being like, hey, we're here to save people. And, you know, we'll figure it out a bit later, but we know why Jill doesn't like Umbrella. The people who currently work for Umbrella may not know why other people hate Umbrella. So don't worry, it'll click eventually. We know something they don't, so it's fine. We've gotten a couple documents here. This is just oops all puns about being eaten. Like, I don't know who wrote this tabloid, but they got a place in my heart. After they're done digging it out of my chest cavity. But word is getting out that people are being killed by a cannibal. Cannibal disease. Ooh, get loaded up on bath salts and all of a sudden you want to eat your fellow man.
Jill? It's me again. You topside yet?
Working on it. So what's the plan?
The old tanks got me clearing the tracks. You mind getting the subway infrastructure back online?
And how do I do that?
Let's start by restoring power. I'll navigate you to the substation once you hit the main road.
Copy that. Let's do this fast.
Alright, reactivate the power. I think we can do that. They load you up with quite a bit of ammunition to start out. We've also got some gunpowder here, and we also got some green herbs. These are mainstays in the Resident Evil franchise. You can combine herbs together to make them more powerful. You can also combine different types of gunpowder to make different types of ammunition. 2 regular gunpowders get you handgun ammo. As easy as that. In the original game, they were called gunpowder A, B, and C. With this one, they're able to differentiate between them. You got regular gunpowder, and then you got high-grade gunpowder. And right here, you can combine 2 greens together to make a pretty decent healing item, or you could just combine a green with a red and get a full heal. There is no poison in this game. They replace it with something else. But you won't have to worry about combining a blue herb with a green or a blue herb with a red and a green in order to heal from poison. It's no longer here. When you find something that you can interact with but can't open, they'll show up on your map.
It almost looks like I could get this working if I plug in the right... whatever it is.
So I understand why people are so cross when it comes to talking about Resident Evil 3. There are a lot of key moments that aren't here anymore. They didn't make the final cut. The Kite Brothers monument that we just saw there used to lead into City Hall. City Hall is no longer a location you can travel to, so they at least have the homage here as a puzzle. And you better be thankful for that puzzle, because that's like one of the only ones in the game. This document here is telling you about the healing items. If you happen to find a first aid spray, you save that thing in your box. Use that in dire situations because it's a full heal. Alright, I think we're ready. Let's dive back out into Raccoon City and see who needs help.
We're survivors. We've got to get that train moving.
Hello, first zombie. And hello, game mechanic. You use your left stick and your right bumper to do a quick step. This is your dodge mechanic for Resident Evil 3. This mechanic is janky! It was janky in the original, it's just as jank here. I think I know why they keep removing and putting back the dodge mechanic into Resident Evil, because it kinda, sorta works only half the time. The main thing you want to use this for is getting away from zombies. Now, there are actually some dodges you can do using this quick step. We just saw a dodge right there, what I like to call the lucky dodge. This happened in Resident Evil 2 as well. If you accidentally go towards a zombie and they release you, that's a lucky dodge. You didn't actually take any damage. Up! Now let's talk about what happens when you actually get the movement right. There is something called a perfect dodge that you can perform. Dodging out of the way just in time will let you jump out of the way without actually taking any damage. And it actually has this cool little effect to show, yeah, good job, you did a perfect dodge. But the other thing is, perfect dodges actually give you an advantage in battle. The main complaint I have with this is it's inconsistent. I have spent 10 minutes here trying to perfect the dodge, and you're actually seeing some of my more successful attempts. There was a time where 5 minutes straight I didn't get a single one, and I dodged the exact same time as I did in previous ones. One thing I found out is it's a lot easier to get the timing down while you're aiming. Now, if you perform a perfect dodge and you aim your gun, you go into a little bit of bullet time. You want to get good at the perfect dodge, at least for the zombies. We'll talk different monsters later, but if you can manage to perfect your dodge along with the bullet time, the harder difficulties will become manageable. These are paramount once you go higher than hardcore. For this particular playthrough, I'm not going to, like, shoot for dodges. If they happen, cool. If they don't, I'm not out anything. Standard mode is actually pretty decent about making sure you have plenty of healing items, plenty of ammo. It also helps that the zombies are kind of spread out, so I just kill them. It gets them out of the way for later on in the game, I will say that. Just thinking back to when I did Resident Evil 2, there are a lot more zombies in this game. Like, I understand confined corridors in Resident Evil 2 where, you know, if you give the player more than one zombie, they're gonna get backed into a corner pretty quickly. Raccoon City is a lot more open than RPD. That was a mistake on my part. So, zombies. Let's talk about them real quick. Did you see that zombie, how he actually lifted his arm and everything? This is something I wish they did in Resident Evil 2, and I'm glad they do it here. Zombies now have an animation for when they are truly dead. Thank God. You need that in this game because there are so many zombies. So now, you know when they're dead. Once they go down, I normally knife them a few times just to make sure, because if they flinch when you knife them, they're still alive. I'm actually going to check these doors just to get them marked on my map so I remember later. Oh, hey! The barricades. Those won't last. We have that experience from Brad.
Carlos, I've reached the main avenue. Which way do I go?
See a big transmission tower? That's the substation. You'll have to circle around through an alley to your right to get there.
You mean the alley that's on fire?
Maybe. Surely a tall drink of water like yourself can put out a few flames.
Fuck you.
By God, he's trying. I think this is Carlos's version of trying to be relatable while talking to a pretty lady. But, she's not taking too kindly to it. Maybe she'll warm up eventually. Oh, hey! They still don't work! Imagine that! Whoa! Do not shoot that red barrel! As much as you want to shoot that lovely red barrel right there, every instinct is saying, shoot the red barrel. Niskel, why can't I shoot the red barrel? You want to save that for later. Like, personal gaming advice for Resident Evil 3, only shoot a red barrel if you know you won't need it later. I don't know how I got that lucky, but I'll take it. That red barrel is going to be very important to your playthrough later. It's going to help you out in the long run. I'm getting you pre-prepped. Trust me, I'm leading you in the right direction. It may seem like I don't know what I'm doing, and it may seem like I'm a bad shot. That's because, 1, I'm cooking. 2, I am a bad shot. So please don't hold it against me. Please. Jim's Crabs! Finally! See, I'm liking this little neon district. It might be dark out, but all these stores still have their lights on. It just adds to the late night city life where everybody's dead. You know, Thursday nights. I'm sorry, that was really stupid. I'll stop talking now. See, for example, that right there, that's a red barrel you can shoot. There were 2 zombies up here, and that red barrel took care of both of them. No joke. I did a previous recording. My first run of this, I had the settings too low, so I had to redo a few episodes just because the lighting was awful. I missed that there was a red barrel up here because it was so dark. Please, please, please set these new age RE Engine Resident Evil games to a higher brightness because you will miss so many things. New hair tonic from Umbrella. It brings your hair to life. And then it starts biting your brain. New safe is just perfect. Nobody knows the code. I think this guy might be on the internet too long. He's in love with a poster. I don't know, maybe that's his waifu. I hear him. Hey, there you are! Oh, bad shot, bad shot, bad shot, bad shot! I can't win! I'm such a panic shot. Like, I don't even know how I beat some of these Resident Evil games where I'm such a panic shot. You want to wait until the reticle gets small to hopefully get some more damage, but I'm just a panic shot. These guys run too quickly. Hello? The first of many. Oh, sorry, second of many. We've already gotten one. God, it just seems like our introduction to Carlos was so long ago. There's the Kite Brothers Railway. I'm just taking a scan of the situation here. Some handgun bullets back there. That's good. Just in case I miss a few more times. There's that pharmacy. We can make our way over there after this guy. So, I've done a bit of research, taking a look at dev diaries and whatnot, and really trying to understand why people seriously hate this game. It all comes down to, well, there's a lot of stuff that they took out. And that I understand. When you remake something, you don't want to exactly just take everything out that everybody loved. The thing is, Resident Evil 3 has been more streamlined and more focused. And this is something I'll talk about later because there's one aspect of the game that was different from every other Resident Evil game up to that point. And they took it out because, I'll be honest, it was silly. It was cool, but within the confines of the Resident Evil franchise, it was just kind of silly. It seemed like an experiment. Okay, he's got a point there. Waifu material. And she knows the code, the very obviously circled and directionalized code there. Capcom just wants to make sure you understand the puzzle, it's fine. There's a few moments in here where I think people are just kind of going overboard with it. And I still do understand their pain, but it still works in this context. Like, you don't need to have every single thing that was in the original. Now, I'll meet you halfway on one thing. It's about Brad. In the OG game, Brad was killed by Nemesis. You started out at the bar where Brad dies in this game, and then he runs away like the coward that he was, finds Jill at the police station, and then Nemesis jumps in out of nowhere and kills him. He was running away from Nemesis. He was afraid of it. Got caught in the bar with a zombie, tried to run away, found Jill, and then Nemesis caught up with him. That was cool. But you know what also works? Having a very slow build-up in your opening. Something's going on outside. You hear the sirens. You hear the people. And then you get that phone call. Now, for some people, having the monster immediately show up after being mentioned doesn't work for them. Totally understand. If you really stop and think about it, the monster bursting through the wall immediately after learning about it can be considered a cop-out. I see you. I hear you. In some cases, I agree with you. Within the walls of this remake, I personally think it works. Feel free to disagree. That's your opinion. It's perfectly fine. We found the fire hose. We've made shotgun shells. We found the grenade. We found a big shooty bang bang for later. And we also made it to the substation. Not too bad while traipsing through all, what seems like the entirety of Raccoon City.
This must be the subway company's offices.
Alright. Let's turn it on.
Nothing.
Damn it! Alright, let's take a look. Train will stop. Track seconds will be used. Okay, so it looks like we'll have a puzzle after we turn the power back on. Okay, I guess we'll have to come back. Don't leave just yet, because this guy wants to say hi. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and get out of here. There's nothing else for us to do. We can put out the fire, though, so that's good. Okay, so right here, this is where you want to use the explodey barrel. Trust me. And mainly because it's time to start saving ammo. I mean, oh! Ah, my hair's on fire! Ah! I mean, yeah, I know I'm a bad shot. That one you can blow up. Might come back to bite me, but you know what, that's okay. Donuts. Oh, listen. The easiest way to my heart is by giving me the OG Resident Evil 2 credits theme on the radio. Hell yeah, that song's a banger. I love it. Oh, hello. You thought you could escape? 4 down. Alright. We've made it to a majority of the places that we can explore. And thankfully, right here in the kitchen is a save room. Cool. We can make some donuts and listen to this music. Whenever you hear a light piano tone, or tune, excuse me, you know you're in a save room and a safe room. Resident Evil 3 is going to play with this, where, in some cases, just because you can save in the room does not mean you're safe in the room. We'll talk about that later. But first! Hey! We got the red jewel! I think we'll go ahead and wait until we get all 3 of the jewels before we go back to the Kite Brothers monument. But for now, look how pretty. Go ahead and drop off a few things, because we've got a couple stops to make. It's all good. So, let me talk about one more thing. And it mainly has to do... We've got a few zombies to take out here, so please excuse me while I go on a bit of a tangent. But it's mainly thinking that this game doesn't have a lot in it. The game is short, shorter than most Resident Evil games. But I'll be honest, first time I played through it, I had about the same playtime as when I first went through Resident Evil 2 Remake. Now, granted, not everybody is a skilled video game player like I am, as I miss another zombie hit! There we go. But, yeah. Again, I'll meet you halfway on that. This game is on the shorter side compared to the others. Still fun. Still has a good impact. Now, one thing I actually had to think about, and this is something I was reading on Reddit. It was talking about, well, Raccoon City feels small. And I had to think about it. I was like, what do you mean it feels small? Oh. The OG Resident Evil 3 had a lot of corridors, a lot of alleyways that you had to go through. A lot of areas like this right here that I'm going through. You would go through it and, you know, fight a couple zombies or something like that, and then you would go to the next corridor, you go through a transition, and there you go, you're in a new place. I feel this one is a lot more structured. There's not a lot of filler, so to speak. 937. Hello, beautiful. Helps with taking aim. Oh my god, I need this more than ever. We get a dot sight for our handgun! Yes! Oh, fantastic. I could have sworn this guy was supposed to get up, but maybe it changes depending on the playthrough? The OG did that, where a couple things would be different from playthrough to playthrough. But I don't think that's the case. I think I just don't know when that zombie gets up. It's been known to happen. It's fine. Alright. We've hit up all the major places. Time to put out a fire because me, Jill, made of water. I'm a tall glass of water, Carlos!
There.
Never understood why a tall drink of water is considered, like, hot. He's like, yeah, I'm sure a tall drink of water like yourself can take that. Maybe it's not being hit on. Maybe it's literally calling you, like, wet. And in which case, Carlos! You can't be saying that to me! I know there's still a lot of red on the map. We'll look at that later. We won't be... I'd say probably next episode we'll be able to fill in those blanks. But for now, just run with it.
Is someone in here?
Hope whoever's in here is okay.
You're UBCS?
Yeah, careful. Come on, don't look at me like that, all right? I'm not an infected.
let's take care of
No, wait, please!
What the fuck?
He was infected.
He might have been infected.
Oh, stars, this soft. No wonder so many of you dead.
And what are you, UBCS? Killing your own people?
He would have turned. There's your sense of self-preservation. Go back to the subway station. We don't need a bleeding heart like you getting in the way.
First impressions are great. My first impression of you is you're a dickhead. Good God! What an introduction. Well, sucks for this guy. But then again, he may not have been a good person. This file right here is golden. There is a cutscene that didn't make it to the remake, and it's actually the intro of the game, where you see the police line up trying to take out the zombies and get decimated. I'd like to think these were the recruits that were called in to deal with the zombie issue in Raccoon City. This was one of the guys who, out of nowhere, were given the orders, there's a problem in Raccoon City, go fix it. It's right here. I go on my first mission, riot control in Raccoon City. Think Jimmy would have liked that. My brother always the first to reach out to help people. Right up until now, the street punks took him away from me. This guy was in prison before Umbrella hired him to go deal with a problem he couldn't deal with. That's some good flavor text. Next time on Resident Evil 3 Remake. Let's go ahead and follow that douchebag. See you guys next time.
Stop.